Sit back and enjoy an hour of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started.
He is Martin Joe Laurel, a man who could rotate his head 180 degrees. Yes, he could turn it to look at his own backside. He worked in circuses and small-town fairs, showing his strange ability. People paid an entrance fee just to see him in action. He had this capability because he was born with a small dislocation in his spine. With years of training, he perfected the rotation, something impossible for most people. Doctors at the time studied his case because of the unusual flexibility of his neck. In the 18th century, a Russian woman gave birth to 69 children. Documents from a monastery in Moscow record that between 1735 and 1765, she had 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. It is one of the most extreme fertility cases ever recorded, and it is believed she had a genetic predisposition to multiple ovulations. A scan revealed that inside this statue, there's a mummified monk named Lu Quan. He died around the age of 37 and was known for his knowledge of herbal medicine. He is believed to have undergone a self-mummification practice performed by certain Buddhist monks. The statue is preserved as a piece of great historical and spiritual value. This is the largest pearl found to date. It is estimated to be worth around $100 million. A Filipino fisherman discovered it inside a giant clam and kept it under his bed for 10 years, believing it was a good luck charm. When he brought it to local authorities, its true value was revealed. Its extraordinary size makes it a unique piece. Have you ever heard about spider fights? It is a very popular game in countries like the Philippines, Singapore, and Japan. Children usually catch spiders and place them on a string where they compete for dominance. The spider that falls twice loses. Male jumping spiders, known for their territorial behavior, are often used. This game reflects natural conduct and is part of local entertainment traditions. That dove is not dead. It is drunk from eating fermented apples. This phenomenon also happens in elephants, monkeys, and kangaroos. Fermented fruit contains natural alcohol that causes disorientation. Sometimes it happens accidentally, but some animals seem to seek out these fruits for the effect they produce. It is a behavior recorded in different regions of the world. Did you know that stray dogs in Moscow use the subway to move around the city? These animals learn routes by identifying smells, sounds, and environmental patterns. They travel between areas where they find food and return to places where they feel safe. Researchers have observed that some distinguish stations by the rhythm of the ride or the announcements, demonstrating their ability to adapt to urban environments. Believe it or not, these were the first glasses ever recorded. They were used more than 4,000 years ago by Inuit peoples to protect themselves from the intense reflection of snow. They were made from materials such as bone, ivory, or wood, and had narrow slits that reduced light without blocking vision. This design prevented snow blindness and anticipated modern principles of eye protection. Dolphins are among the most intelligent animals in the ocean. Their brain has a highly developed cortex similar to that of humans, responsible for thought and communication processes. This allows them to recognize patterns, learn commands, and coordinate as a group. Some studies indicate that they can develop symbolic behavior and answer simple questions using signals. Do you remember the scene where Forrest Gump is giving a speech and the microphone is disconnected? According to the director, the original line referred to soldiers who came back from Vietnam without limbs or did not return at all. It was a powerful message about the human cost of war. It was removed from the final audio to maintain the emotional impact of the scene without explicitly revealing the content. Did you know that octopus mothers are capable of giving their lives for their offspring? After laying thousands of eggs, they remain protecting them without eating for months or even years. Their bodies reduce activity to conserve energy. When the hatchlings emerge, the mother exhausts her reserves and dies. It is one of the most extreme maternal sacrifices in nature. Many birds have an impressive characteristic. They can keep their heads still even while their bodies are moving. This is due to the vestibulo-ocular reflex, which stabilizes their gaze even as the body changes position. It is a huge advantage for hunting and orienting themselves. Humans also have this reflex, although in our case, it is our eyes that compensate for the movement to fix our sight on a specific point. This mechanism is essential for maintaining balance. Do not worry. These are not petrified bodies. It is a skylight formed by solidified lava in Hawaii. As lava cools quickly, it creates irregular shapes that look like sculptures. The markings originate from the movement of the magma before hardening, producing forms that attract attention for their eerie appearance. The Beast is the name of the presidential limousine of the United States. It is manufactured by Cadillac and designed to withstand chemical attacks, biological threats, explosions, and high-caliber bullets. It is fully sealed and equipped with an independent oxygen supply. It carries blood compatible with the president's in case of a medical emergency. Many experts consider it the safest vehicle in the world. Light pollution prevents us from seeing the starry sky. The lights from cities, cars, buildings, and homes create a constant glow that erases the stars from view. Many people who live their entire lives in urban areas have never seen a completely dark sky. To appreciate it, you must travel far from any illuminated zone. Did you know that giraffes feed on the bones of dead animals? This behavior is called osteophagy. They do it to obtain calcium and phosphorus that they do not get from their normal diet of leaves. This habit is also seen in camels and livestock. Although it may seem strange, it plays an essential role in their nutrition. This is a Rottweiler carrying a weight of 33 pounds with its mouth. These dogs have one of the strongest bites in the canine world, capable of exerting great pressure. That strength allows them to perform tasks other dogs could not. They are used as guard dogs, rescue dogs, and in police support roles. Here is Tim Frieda, the man who has voluntarily allowed himself to be bitten by more than 200 venomous snakes. He seeks to develop a universal antivenom based on his own acquired immunity. He has documented every bite and collaborated with laboratories to analyze his immune response. His goal is to create a global treatment for regions where access to antivenoms is limited. Each year, tens of thousands of people die from snake bites, which is why his research has gained international attention. These are marine iguanas, native to the Galapagos Islands. They are the only iguanas in the world adapted to life in the sea. They feed exclusively on algae and can dive up to 66 feet deep. Their dark color helps them absorb heat after swimming in cold waters. Although peaceful, they are highly territorial with each other during the breeding season. This is Kenichi Ito, the fastest man running on all fours. He spent years analyzing the movement of primates to perfect his technique. His style combines speed, coordination, and strength in both arms and legs. He achieved his world record in the 100-meter race thanks to constant discipline and an optimized posture that reduces joint impact. What you are seeing is known as sailing stones. For years, it was believed they moved due to mysterious forces. Research demonstrated that a thin layer of ice forms beneath them during the night. When the ice cracks and is pushed by the wind, it drags the stones dozens of yards. This phenomenon occurs in Death Valley in the United States. In ancient times, Halloween costumes were much more frightening. The tradition has roots in Celtic festivals where masks were used to ward off spirits. During the Middle Ages, criminals used costumes to commit crimes without being identified. Over time, the custom became festive and lost its sinister tone. This is what the skeleton of a manta ray looks like. They have no bones but cartilage, which allows for very flexible movement. Their body shape is designed to take advantage of ocean currents. Some species can jump more than 9 feet out of the water. What you're seeing on screen is known as a blue tornado, and it's basically a small fire tornado that produces no smoke. It was discovered in experiments related to clean fuels and works thanks to extremely efficient combustion. The surprising thing is that it can remain stable in closed and controlled spaces. This phenomenon opens the door to systems for eliminating oil spills with less pollution and to safer and cleaner combustion technologies. The belief that lightning does not strike the same place twice is false. In fact, some structures receive dozens of strikes each year because of their height and composition. The Empire State Building is struck by lightning more than 20 times annually. Lightning follows paths of least electrical resistance, so it often strikes the same points repeatedly. This is an emu, and in 1932, the so-called Great Emu War occurred. The Australian Army tried to reduce their population because they damaged crops, but the emus were too fast and difficult to catch. After spending thousands of rounds of ammunition without success, the army abandoned the attempt. It is one of the most curious episodes in modern environmental history. Have you ever heard of eye painting? Leandro Granado is an Argentine artist who invented this unusual technique. It consists of ingesting paint through the nostrils and then expelling it through the tear duct to paint on a canvas. Leandro states that he uses non-toxic pigments and that the process does not harm him. His works require time, precision, and body control, which is why each piece can sell for thousands of dollars. This technique made him internationally known for its originality. Koalas have fingerprints so similar to human ones that they can be confused even under detailed analysis. This similarity is so strong that at crime scenes, they could leave traces almost identical to those of a person. This trait does not exist in other animals and is believed to have evolved to improve their grip on trees. This fold formation under the tongue is known as the plica fimbriata and is located on both sides of the frenulum. We all have it, but in some people it can stick out up to 0.4 inches. It does not represent any health problem and is made of small residual tissues that the body usually reabsorbs during growth. Although it may look strange, it is completely normal. Have you ever seen fish that appear to be kissing? They are kissing gouramis. Although it looks like a romantic gesture, it is actually a form of combat between males. They push each other with their mouths to establish hierarchy and compete for territory and females. Despite their name, they are peaceful fish under normal conditions and are very popular in aquariums. In this soccer stadium in Brazil is aligned exactly with the equator. That is why each team defends a different hemisphere during a match. The midfield line coincides with zero latitude, making it a unique geographical curiosity. It is a popular destination for tourists and sports enthusiasts. The Titanic will completely disappear from the ocean floor in less than 20 years. This is due to special bacteria called Halomonas titanicae, which feed on the ship's metal. The vessel is more than 12,460 feet deep, where extreme conditions accelerate its deterioration. Many parts have already collapsed and will vanish completely in the coming decades. Let me introduce you to Monsieur Mengistu, whose real name was Michel Letito. He was famous for eating unusual objects such as bicycles, glass, televisions, and even a Cessna 150 airplane, which he consumed piece by piece over 2 years. His stomach had walls much thicker than normal and produced very strong acids that allowed him to digest metals. Paradoxically, soft foods caused him discomfort. This is what the skeleton of a pufferfish looks like. These fish can inflate several times their normal size to intimidate predators. Their skeletal structure is flexible because it must withstand rapid volume changes. Many species of pufferfish also contain toxins extremely dangerous to other animals. This is one of the strangest caterpillars known. It is called urabalugens and appears to have several stacked heads. Each time it sheds its exoskeleton, it keeps the previous head attached, like a kind of helmet. Scientists are still investigating whether this trait serves as defense, camouflage, or is simply an evolutionary characteristic without a clear purpose. Did you know that cats walk with almost perfect coordination? They place their hind paws exactly where their front paws stepped. This allows them to be silent, save energy, and maintain exceptional balance. This walking pattern is shared with animals such as camels and foxes. That is the name of a town in Wales. Its extremely long name was created in the 19th century to attract visitors and stand out on railway maps. Reporter Liam Dutton managed to pronounce it correctly during a live broadcast, which increased its international fame. Translated, its name describes a church, a valley, and a red cave near a natural whirlpool. Many tourists visit it just to try to say the name. This is the magnetic resonance image of a pug. Despite its adorable appearance, this breed suffers multiple respiratory problems due to its extremely short muzzle. Its anatomy restricts airflow and complicates temperature regulation. Pugs from earlier generations had longer muzzles, but selective breeding intensified these traits. Today, campaigns promote responsible breeding to prevent hereditary issues. The poison garden is one of the strangest gardens in the world. It was created by the Duchess of Northumberland in England and houses lethal or highly toxic plants. Among them is the castor plant, whose seed contains a deadly toxin. Other species can cause neurological damage, hallucinations, or respiratory failure. For safety, visitors must not touch anything, and the staff uses special protective equipment. Have you ever seen a humpback whale breaching? Besides being one of the most impressive sights in the ocean, these jumps are still a mystery. Some theories suggest they may help remove parasites, communicate over long distances, or simply play. Their jumps can lift them several feet above the water and require an enormous amount of energy, which demonstrates their strength and ability. This is an emotional support dog, attending a class and practicing what it has learned. These dogs help people with anxiety, depression, or feelings of loneliness. Although they do not have the medical training of therapy dogs, they fulfill a fundamental role, providing emotional stability to those who need it. They are trained to offer companionship, calm, and to reduce episodes of stress. This is what soda cans looked like in the 1930s. They were called cone-top cans and were a mix between a bottle and a can. Their shape allowed carbonated beverages to be packaged, but they took up a lot of space and could not be stacked. Additionally, they lost pressure easily. Although they disappeared in the 1940s, today they are highly appreciated by collectors. This man was one of the most exceptional minds ever recorded. His name was Kim Peek, and he had the ability to memorize practically everything he saw. He remembered about 98% of 12,000 books he read in his life. He could read 2 pages at the same time in a matter of seconds and memorize them effortlessly. He also knew complete maps of the United States by heart and could explain routes with detailed precision. He was considered a savant, with extraordinary abilities alongside motor limitations due to damage to his cerebellum. Tokyo is one of the few places in the world where you will find ice cream flavors such as octopus, shrimp, horse meat, or cow tongue. There's even a flavor called natural Viagra. These ice creams are part of Japan's experimental food culture, where traditional ingredients are mixed with modern ideas. Many shops compete to offer the most extravagant combinations. What you are seeing is not a spaceship, but the Avrocar, an experimental aircraft developed by the United States and Canada during the early years of the Cold War. The goal was to create a vehicle capable of moving at high speed close to the ground without generating detectable noise, ideal for reconnaissance missions. However, the project was canceled in 1961 because the available technology could not solve stability and thrust problems. Today, it is considered an iconic example of experimental engineering. This is what happens to a dress after 2 months in the Dead Sea. The artist Sigalit Landau left the garment submerged so it would become covered with crystals formed by the minerals in the water. The high salt concentration produces a solid layer that transforms the dress into a natural sculpture. It is a surprising example of the chemical effects of the environment. Foxes use the Earth's magnetic field to hunt. They detect magnetic variations, which, combined with their hearing, allow them to calculate the exact distance of their prey beneath the snow. This unique ability improves their accuracy and explains why their jumps are so precise. This is the blue-ringed octopus, one of the most venomous animals on the planet. It lives in areas of the Pacific Ocean and, although it is the size of a golf ball, it contains a toxin capable of killing several people in minutes. There is no known antidote. Its bright rings are a natural warning for predators. Despite its size, it is one of the most dangerous animals in the sea. Adam Rayner is the only documented human who experienced both dwarfism and gigantism in a single lifetime. At 21 years old, he measured only 3 feet 10 inches, but a tumor in the pituitary gland caused accelerated growth. In 10 years, he reached a height of 7 feet 2 inches and continued growing until he reached 7 feet 8 inches. His condition is one of the most studied medical cases of the 20th century. This is the largest amethyst geode found so far. It's called the Empress of Uruguay, measures almost 9 feet tall, and weighs more than 4,400 pounds. Its interior is filled with violet crystals formed over millions of years. It's an impressive example of the geological processes of our planet. Have you ever wondered what happens when lightning strikes an airplane? Although it seems dangerous, modern aircraft are designed to withstand it. The electricity travels across the exterior of the fuselage and dissipates without entering the inside. This happens because the airplane acts as a Faraday cage. Pilots are trained for these events, and the aircraft are inspected after the impact. This is what lunar soil looks like under a microscope, magnified more than 300 times. The fragments are not smooth like terrestrial sand, but sharp and angular due to the lack of erosion. This texture can damage suits, filters, and equipment, making it a major challenge for future lunar missions. This doll is an 18th century mechanical computer created by Pierre-Jacques Droz with about 6,000 pieces. It is an automaton capable of writing words thanks to a complex system of programmable gears. It is considered one of the greatest engineering achievements of its time and a precursor to modern robotics. This gorilla is named Toto. She cannot have offspring and occupies the lowest position in her group's hierarchy. Even so, the younger gorillas often accompany her and provide comfort. These behaviors demonstrate the complex social structure of gorillas. Empathy is common in these primates and has been widely documented. She is Lu Ye, a Taiwanese woman who at 41 years old became famous for looking like a teenager. Her family has a rare genetic trait that delays visible signs of aging. In photos, she appears next to her 36-year-old sister and 63-year-old mother, both of whom also look surprisingly young. Her case attracted attention from media in different countries. Vegetables and fruits grown in Alaska can reach impressive sizes. A broccoli can weigh more than 35 pounds, a melon around 61 pounds, and a cabbage nearly 100 pounds. This happens because in summer, they receive about 20 hours of sunlight per day, which increases photosynthesis and speeds up growth. In addition, the cold climate helps reduce pests. Rowan Atkinson, the actor behind Mr. Bean, has an intelligence quotient of 178, one of the highest recorded in the entertainment world. Although he studied electrical engineering at Oxford, he decided to pursue comedy. His ability for physical humor made him a global icon. Besides the character of Mr. Bean, he is also a writer, producer, and enthusiast of classic cars. What looks like a human dressed as a bird is the harpy eagle. This majestic species, standing 3 feet 3 inches tall and weighing nearly 20 pounds, is one of the largest eagles in the world. It lives in tropical forests from Mexico to Brazil and hunts sloths, monkeys, and reptiles. It can lift prey that weighs 3 times more than itself, thanks to its powerful talons. The harpy eagle is an indicator of the ecological health of forests. Although its population is decreasing due to deforestation, the loudest sound ever recorded occurred in the year 1883 when the Krakatoa volcano exploded. The blast was so powerful that it was heard more than 3,100 miles away and left people deaf who were 62 miles from the epicenter. The eruption altered the global climate for several years and caused intensely red sunsets documented in paintings and historical accounts. This is a black-footed cat, one of the cutest but also deadliest animals in Africa. Despite measuring only about 16 inches, it has a hunting success rate of more than 60%. Its eyes are adapted for nighttime hunting, and its stealth makes it an extremely efficient predator. It lives in arid areas and feeds on small mammals, birds, and insects. This is a fire snail, one of the most striking snails in the world. It was discovered in 1938 and lives only in specific regions of Malaysia. Its bright color serves as a warning to predators. It lives in cool, humid cloud forests, making it very sensitive to climate changes and deforestation. It is currently considered a vulnerable species. This viper lives in the deserts of Africa and the Middle East. It's one of the most venomous species in the world. It's known as the sidewinder or horned viper. It has a great ability to camouflage itself. It partially buries itself in the sand, moving side to side until it becomes almost invisible. Its attack is quick and precise. Its venom causes intense pain, swelling, and dizziness. It is a highly studied species because of its behavior and extreme desert adaptation. Let me introduce you to General Sherman. That is the name of this tree located in Sequoia National Park in California. It is the living organism with the largest biomass on the planet. Its base measures 36 feet in diameter, and its volume exceeds 52,450 cubic feet. It weighs more than 4,400,000 pounds and is around 2,000 years old. Sequoias are the largest plant organisms in the world in terms of volume, and this specimen is one of the most studied. Have you ever seen an otter playing with rocks? A study from the University of Exeter discovered that they do this when they feel excitement or anticipation, especially before receiving food. In zoos and wildlife reserves, it is a common behavior and serves as a form of mental stimulation. Llamas are excellent sheep guardians. Their presence intimidates predators, especially wolves. When they detect danger, they make loud sounds and spit to scare them away. Since the year 2012, flocks protected by llamas have reported very few losses. Their use as guardians is spreading across several countries. This is what a snake looks like while shedding its skin. Unlike humans, snake skin is not elastic, and they must remove it completely in a single piece. If they did not, they could develop circulation problems or infections. This shedding also eliminates parasites and allows small wounds to regenerate. Snakes shed several times a year, depending on their age, size, and health. This is how some mollusks move underwater. This species expels jets of water through a muscular siphon that allows it to move quickly. This method is known as jet propulsion and is shared by several marine animals. It allows them to escape predators with sudden and very fast movements. Wearing a helmet increases the probability of surviving an accident by 67%. Modern helmets are designed to absorb impact and reduce brain injury. Road safety campaigns have shown that helmet use significantly decreases severe injuries in motorcyclists and cyclists. This machine from 1931 promised to increase height by stretching the spine for mechanical traction. Over time, it was proven ineffective. Other similar machines claimed to strengthen muscles without exercise, but they did not work either. They are part of the history of pseudo-scientific inventions. If snakes scare you, do not visit the town of Narcisse in Canada. In spring, tens of thousands of garter snakes emerge from their dens to mate in huge gatherings. It is the largest snake congregation in the world and attracts biologists and tourists every year. Despite how impressive it looks, these snakes are not dangerous to humans. Toads and frogs cannot swallow without closing their eyes. Since most do not have teeth to chew, they must swallow their prey whole. Their neck muscles are connected to their eyelids, so when they close their eyes, they push the food toward the throat. This mechanism works as additional pressure that helps them digest large prey. This is a rocket war celebrated every year between two churches in Greece. The event takes place during Easter. The parishes of St. Mark and Panagia Aretiani fire rockets at each other before midnight on Easter Sunday. The battle lasts several hours and usually ends in a technical tie, which is resolved the following year. The tradition dates back to the Ottoman era, when real cannons were used. This is a waterspout. Although it looks terrifying, most of them are harmless. They form when the wind rotates around a low pressure point and lifts water particles, creating a visible column. They usually last only a few minutes and rarely reach the strength of a tornado. They occur frequently in coastal areas and usually dissipate when the wind stops interacting with the water surface. No, the MGM lion's roar was not recorded the way many imagine. Since 1917, 7 different lions have been used as the studio symbol. The current lion, named Leo, has represented the company since 1957. Over time, the roar has been remastered and digitized to preserve its quality. The lion's image has become one of the most recognizable emblems in film history. Have you ever seen a bear scratching against a tree? This behavior works as a communication system. Bears leave scent through glands located in their skin, informing others of their presence. They also use these trees as reference points within their territory. Some studies show that they can even determine the size and condition of other bears from the scent left behind. Let me introduce you to Amu Haji, considered the dirtiest man in the world. He went more than 60 years without bathing. He lived isolated in a small village in Iran and believed that water could make him sick. He ate meat from dead animals and drank water from rusty pipes. He slept in a hole and smoked a pipe filled with animal feces. Despite those who tried to help him, he insisted he was comfortable with his lifestyle. Medical studies showed that his body developed an unusual resistance to many bacteria. Christopher Robin, the child from the Winnie the Pooh stories, existed in real life. He was the son of A. Milne, the author of the tales. His original stuffed animals inspired the most well-known characters from the story. Over time, the stories became a worldwide success. Today, the original stuffed animals are kept at the New York Public Library as historical pieces. Skating on an ultra-thin layer of ice produces a particular sound due to the vibrations created by friction. Nordic skating is practiced on natural lakes in Sweden, where the ice can be only about 4 inches thick. Skaters use their hearing to identify safe or dangerous areas, since the pitch changes depending on thickness. For safety, they usually skate in groups. This is the Megatherium, one of the giant sloths that lived in South America. It measured more than 20 feet and could stand on 2 legs. Despite its size, it was herbivorous. Its extinction is attributed to a combination of climate change and human hunting. Its fossil remains have helped scientists learn more about the giant mammals that inhabited the continent. This is what a 256 megabyte hard drive looked like in 1976. The first hard drives could weigh more than 2,200 pounds and cost thousands of dollars. Their capacity was minimal compared to any modern device. These machines were essential for developing the first commercial computers. This lake, known as the Blood Lake, is in Texas in the United States. In the year 2011, it took on a reddish tone that sparked rumors about a possible apocalyptic event. The color is due to a bacteria called chromatina, which thrives in low oxygen waters. Although it's not dangerous, the smell is often strong and the appearance of the water can seem unsettling. Some volcanic eruptions can last several years. One example is the Mauna Ulu volcano in Hawaii. Between 1969 and 1974, it was active for 1,774 days. The lava dome reached 66 feet in height and covered more than 12,300,000,000 cubic feet. Part of the flow extended 7.5 miles underwater, creating new crust. What you're seeing is the Oosterscheldekering, a flood barrier in the Netherlands. It measures approximately 5 miles and is part of the Delta Works project. It protects areas that are below sea level. It is considered one of the most important hydraulic engineering works in the world. This device, called Zara, is a food recycler that turns organic waste into fertilizer in 24 hours. It works through a process of heat and motion that accelerates natural decomposition. It can process meat and dairy, making it more versatile than other home composters. It is designed to reduce organic waste in households and make recycling easier. In Amsterdam, there are more bicycles than people. Many end up in the canals due to vandalism or neglect. The city uses aquatic cranes to remove them and keep the canals clean. On average, thousands of bicycles are recovered each year, showing the magnitude of the problem. Have you seen the levitation trick performed by street artists? Although it looks like a mystical act, it actually works through a hidden metal structure that supports the performer. The support is connected to a base hidden under the carpet and attached to a rigid cane that is part of the mechanism. This structure allows the performer to maintain an impossible posture for a long time and has become one of the most popular street tricks. What you see on screen is not a real photograph, but an oil painting created by the Chinese artist Li Myung. In 2004, he created this piece inspired by the Mona Lisa, but reinterpreted with modern elements. His mastery of hyper-realistic technique made him one of the most recognized artists in his country. His paintings can take hundreds of hours due to the level of detail. Since the middle of the year 2019, the Dubai police have been receiving training to use a manned drone as a patrol vehicle. This aircraft can fly at 16 feet in height and reach 62 miles per hour. Its design allows rapid access to congested or hard-to-reach areas. In the future, it is expected to serve as a support tool in surveillance and rapid response operations. You probably know about the statues on Easter Island, but what you did not know is that many have full bodies buried underground. These structures can measure more than 23 feet tall and were carved by the Rapa Nui culture hundreds of years ago. Despite their fame, their exact purpose remains a mystery, and researchers still study how they managed to move them from the quarries to their current locations. Have you ever imagined what your favorite superheroes would look like wearing 16th century outfits? The artist Sasha Goldberger created a series of portraits that combine modern characters with Renaissance aesthetics. His team worked for years on wardrobe, makeup, and digital editing to recreate detailed costumes and classic-style poses. The collection includes science fiction characters, heroes, and villains, reinterpreted in a historical context. This is the largest great white shark ever recorded on video. She is known as Deep Blue and measures more than 20 feet. She's estimated to be more than 50 years old, making her an elderly specimen. Despite her size, she shows calm and non-aggressive behavior. Researchers believe she is pregnant, which would explain her extremely large body. The B-2 Spirit, known as the stealth bomber, is the most expensive aircraft ever built. It was designed for strategic missions and can carry both conventional and nuclear weapons. Its shape reduces radar detection. Each unit exceeded $2,200,000,000, and its maintenance requires highly specialized personnel. It is a key piece of modern military aviation. This is a penny farthing, an ancestor of the modern bicycle. Its enormous front wheel allowed it to travel faster with fewer pedal strokes. However, it was difficult to mount, and falls could be dangerous due to the height. It was replaced by more stable models when the rear chain was introduced, which allowed greater control and speed without the risk. This is what happens when you combine a zip line, a surfboard, and 1,968 feet of height to practice base jumping. A group of athletes performed this activity as part of an extreme sports project. The discipline requires precision, advanced training, and strict safety measures. It shows the level modern aerial stunts have reached. This chimpanzee performs a memory test with surprising ease. Chimpanzees can remember visual patterns much better than humans and store short-term information very quickly. These studies show that some species possess highly advanced cognitive abilities. Would you dare to sleep in a transparent capsule hanging more than 1,312 feet above the ground? In the sacred valley of the Incas in Peru, there is a lodging suspended on a cliff. To get there, you must climb or use zip lines. The capsules have beds, a small dining area, and a bathroom. The experience offers unique panoramic views of the Andean landscape. This is the machine that was used to write sheet music before computers. It allowed music to be created with great precision and was the main tool for composers, editors, and orchestras. Thanks to these machines, thousands of musical works were standardized in the 20th century. This is the largest bonfire in the world. It was built in the Austrian city of Lustenau, using 100 tons of wood. It reached 197 feet in height and took 3 months to complete. It is part of a tradition in which bonfires are lit to bid farewell to winter. This has been the largest one recorded so far. In some Asian countries, there are video games installed in public restrooms. They were developed by the company Sega and allow users to play while using the urinal. They incorporate sensors that detect pressure and movement to control different minigames on a small screen. The system was created as a curious form of entertainment and also to promote cleanliness and reduce water use in some establishments. What you are seeing are the pieces that make up a V8 engine. These engines are used in large vehicles because of their power. They were introduced by Ford in 1932 and represented a significant advancement in the automotive industry. They contain numerous internal components that work in synchrony to generate energy, demonstrating the complexity of their operation. Here is Youssef Grisham, the man with the tallest hairstyle in the world. His hair measures 3 feet 6 inches and requires daily care to stay firm. When fully extended, Youssef reaches almost 10 feet tall. To make his life more practical, he usually braids it. But even then, he must be extremely careful to avoid tangling or damage. These giant works of art are known as tambo art and are created in the Ino region of Japan. Formers use rice fields as if they were canvases. They first choose the image and then calculate each section so the design is visible from an elevated platform. It is accomplished using varieties of rice with different tones. They have displayed everything from traditional Japanese figures to modern characters. Thousands of people travel every year just to see these temporary images. Here you can see how difficult it is to walk again on Earth for an astronaut who spent 197 days in space. Drew Fustel shared this video after his mission on the International Space Station. Although astronauts perform several hours of exercise daily, The lack of gravity weakens the muscles and reduces bone density. Upon returning, they must undergo a rehabilitation process to readapt to movements as simple as standing up, walking, or maintaining balance. An elephant uses a stick to scare away a rhinoceros, and surprisingly, the trick works. Elephants create tools using their trunks and feet, which demonstrates advanced intelligence. These tools can be used to reach food, scratch themselves, move objects, or defend against threats. Studies have shown that many elephants can distinguish which tools work best depending on the situation. There's a method to make completely transparent ice. Normally, ice is white or opaque because it contains air, minerals, and gases trapped during the freezing process. To obtain crystal clear ice, the water must be boiled before freezing and frozen slowly and directionally, allowing impurities to escape. This type of ice is used in professional mixology for its elegant appearance. Kobe beef is one of the most expensive types of beef in the world, reaching extremely high prices per pound. It comes from a special Japanese cattle breed called Tajima. These cows receive a controlled diet that includes rice, corn, and barley, in addition to special care to avoid stress. Some farmers even give them massages to relax the animals. Only certified establishments can sell authentic Kobe beef. The world record for the person who has stayed awake the longest without stimulants belongs to Randy Gardner. He managed to stay awake for 11 days, a total of 264 hours. During the experiment, he showed irritability, coordination problems, cognitive failures, and delusions. Scientists documented the entire process to study the effects of extreme sleep deprivation. Today, this type of test is no longer allowed for safety reasons. This Cheeto sold for almost $100,000 in 2017. An internet user auctioned a Cheeto shaped like the gorilla Harambe, and the initial bid was only $11. The auction went viral, and thousands of people began bidding until it reached the final amount. It is one of the most curious objects ever sold online, and shows how rarity can turn anything into an extremely valuable piece. This man was struck by lightning 7 times throughout his life and survived every one. His name was Roy Cleveland Sullivan, a park ranger from Virginia. Over 35 years, he was repeatedly hit by lightning, a unique case in meteorological records. His story became famous due to how unlikely the phenomenon was. Despite everything, he lived to tell it. This is a Yeti crab, a very peculiar species discovered in the year 2006 at more than 7,548 feet of depth. It lives in areas so dark that it has completely lost its vision. Its body is covered in filaments where bacteria grow, which it possibly uses as food. Little is known about this species because it's difficult to reach its habitat. Here is Simon Beck, an artist who creates enormous drawings in the snow using only his feet. His designs can measure hundreds of yards and require precision, physical endurance, and many hours of work. The figures are composed of huge geometric patterns that can only be appreciated from the air. His discipline and patience made him one of the most recognized snow artists in the world. These are four-eyed fish, known for having eyes divided into two sections. This allows them to look upward and downward simultaneously. They use the upper part to watch for aerial predators and the lower part to detect dangers in the water. This ability helps them survive in environments where they must constantly be alert in all directions. This is the challah fruit. It is grown only in Hawaii. Its interior has colors ranging from yellow to deep red, and its sweet flavor resembles a pear with a fibrous texture. It's rich in vitamin C and is used to treat headaches and digestive problems. According to local beliefs, when this fruit falls into the sea, it signals dangerous waves. This sport is called psychoblock. It consists of climbing a wall placed on the edge of a pool. Two competitors climb at the same time, and the first to reach the top wins. No rope is used because the fall is cushioned by the water. It is also practiced on cliffs where climbing is done above the sea. It requires strength, speed, and a high level of concentration. This is what happens when you wring out a wet towel in space. Astronaut Chris Hadfield showed that due to the lack of gravity, the water does not fall, but instead adheres to the towel and forms a layer around the hands. The droplets do not detach and instead slide slowly toward the nearest surface. It is a perfect example of how physics behaves very differently outside the planet. These public restrooms installed in Tokyo are completely transparent when they're empty. They use smart glass that changes opacity when the door is closed from the inside. When a person enters, the material instantly becomes opaque, allowing total privacy. The design aims to let users check the cleanliness of the restroom before entering. If testing continues to go well, Japan plans to install them in more crowded areas. Let me introduce you to the largest rat in the world. Its scientific name is Phloemys pallidus, but it is known as the cloud rat of the Philippines. It can measure approximately 30 inches from snout to tail, 3 times more than a common rat. Despite its size, it is a shy animal that feeds mainly on fruits, leaves, and vegetation. It lives only in forested areas of the Philippines and rarely approaches urban regions. This library is considered the most beautiful in the world. It is called the Clementinum and is located in Prague. It houses millions of books in multiple languages and subjects, from philosophy to mathematics. It opened to the public in 1722, and its interior is decorated with Baroque frescoes. It is one of the most visited places by tourists because of its impressive design. These are flying foxes, a species of giant bat that can measure more than 5 feet in wingspan. Despite their size, they feed on fruits, nectar, and insects. They are essential to ecosystems because they disperse seeds. They can fly long distances and often move in large colonies. This parrot is named Alex, and he was one of the most intelligent animals ever studied. He learned more than 100 words, recognized colors, shapes, and quantities, and could answer complex questions. His reasoning ability was comparable to that of a small child. His case completely changed the scientific view of bird intelligence. This is the Roadrunner, the bird that inspired the famous cartoon. It can run up to 29 miles per hour and can change direction quickly to catch insects, lizards, and small snakes. It lives in arid areas and is one of the fastest land hunters. Then, this enormous structure is built almost entirely out of bamboo. Bamboo is a lightweight, flexible, and strong material. In many regions, it's used as a substitute for metals due to its low cost and rapid renewal. It can withstand heavy loads if properly assembled. This is a Venus flytrap, a carnivorous plant that closes its leaves when it detects repeated movement on its internal sensors. It uses digestive enzymes to break down its prey and absorb nutrients that it cannot obtain from the soil. It is one of the most studied plants due to its rapid movements. This scale model of ancient Rome was created by archaeologist Italo Gismondi. It is based on a map made in 1901 and accurately represents structures, streets, and buildings of the imperial city. Each meter of the model corresponds to 820 real feet. It is displayed at the Museum of Roman Civilization and has served as a visual reference in historical productions such as Gladiator. This resort, called Anantara Golden Triangle Jungle Bubble, allows guests to sleep surrounded by elephants. It's located in the Thai jungle and features transparent bubble-shaped suites that let visitors observe the animals in their natural environment. The complex partners with foundations dedicated to rescuing and protecting elephants that were previously exploited in tourist activities. Have you ever seen this musical instrument called a hang drum? It was created by Felix Rohner and Sabina Scherer in Switzerland, and over time, it became a well-loved instrument in meditative and experimental music. It is made of 2 metal hemispheres that, when joined, act as a resonance chamber. Its design allows it to produce soft, harmonious notes, and its unique style has made it popular in relaxation therapy and artistic performances. The white-tailed deer can jump up to 10 feet vertically and up to 30 feet horizontally. This ability helps them avoid predators and cross obstacles. Their musculature and reflexes make them some of the most agile jumpers on land. This is the American blue rabbit. Its exact origin remains a mystery because its creator never revealed the breeds used. Since some of the involved breeds became extinct, its reproduction depends on dedicated breeders. It is valued for its unique color and gentle temperament. Did you know that hippos can run up to 31 miles per hour? Despite their appearance, they are very aggressive and territorial animals. Their jaws can open up to 150 degrees and exert enormous force. In Africa, they are considered one of the most dangerous animals due to their unpredictable behavior. This little one is the lyrebird. It is known for its incredible ability to mimic sounds. It can reproduce noises from other birds, tools, alarms, engines, and environmental sounds. Its complex song is part of its courtship behavior. Males train for years to perfect their imitations. Its vocal ability is so precise that it has been studied in research on auditory learning. This is the snow leopard. Its population is endangered due to habitat loss, illegal hunting, and the reduction of prey. It lives in the mountains of Central Asia at extreme altitudes. Its long and dense tail helps it maintain balance on rocky terrain. Despite its size, it is a very silent predator. It is estimated that fewer than 4,000 individuals remain in the wild. This adorable pup is an African wild dog. When fully grown, it becomes one of the most efficient predators on the continent. It lives in highly organized packs that cooperate to hunt. Its success rate exceeds 80% thanks to endurance, group strategy, and vocal communication. Although it is an excellent hunter, it's endangered due to habitat loss and disease. What you are seeing is not an image of outer space, but a cave filled with glowing worms in New Zealand. They emit light to attract insects to their sticky threads. These worms live in humid and dark areas. Their bioluminescence is one of the most visited natural spectacles in the country. This is how we may drink water in the future. This water bubble is called Uho and was created by the company Skipping Rocks Lab, using a membrane made from algae and plants. It is edible and biodegradable. Its purpose is to reduce the use of plastic bottles, which takes centuries to break down. This kind of packaging has already been used in sports races and events where water must be distributed quickly without creating trash. In the year 2014, a United Kingdom nanotechnology company called Surrey Nanosystems created what is now known as Vantablack, considered the deepest black in the world. It is made of carbon nanotubes that absorb almost all visible light. Objects coated with it appear to lose volume and shape because of the total absence of reflections. It was initially developed for scientific and military purposes, but over time, it gained interest in art, photography, and industrial design. Microbursts are columns of air that descend at high speed inside a thunderstorm. They form when a stream of dry air mixes with cold precipitation, causing part of the water to evaporate and increasing the fall of the rest. This phenomenon can cause damage similar to a tornado, although it lasts only a few minutes. The microburst recorded in Santa Barbara in the year 2017 knocked down trees, disrupted traffic, and sank a small boat. Would you believe me if I told you that outer space does have sound? During scientific research, NASA recorded electromagnetic vibrations in different regions of space and converted them into audible frequencies for analysis. These vibrations come from magnetic fields, planetary rings, and solar activity. The patterns obtained allow scientists to better study the behavior of the space environment and understand cosmic phenomena. The animated series Futurama was created by a team of writers with exceptional academic backgrounds. David Cohen has a doctorate in physics, Al Jean, one in mathematics, Jake Westbrook in computer science, and Ken Keeler also in mathematics. In total, the group has 4 doctorates and 7 master's degrees. Thanks to this, the series includes real scientific references, authentic formulas, and mathematical problems integrated into its humor. Chewing gum is one of the oldest products still consumed today. Remains over 6,000 years old have been found in Finland, made from bark with resin. Civilizations such as the Maya and the Greeks also chewed gummy substances for dental hygiene or rituals. Over time, the formula evolved, but the concept remains the same. What you're seeing is not an optical illusion, but the crooked house in Poland. It was designed inspired by illustrations from children's stories. The curved shapes create the sensation that the building is melting or distorted. Today, it is a highly photographed tourist attraction. This is the Harbin International Ice and Snow Festival. It has been held every year since 1965 and gathers sculptors from all over the world. They use giant blocks of ice extracted from the Songhua River to build castles, temples, figures, and full-scale buildings. They also include sculptures illuminated with colored lights that create a unique nighttime display. It is one of the largest winter festivals on the planet. The propeller of this airplane appears to be frozen in the air because the camera records at a speed very close to the revolutions per minute of the propeller. This creates the optical illusion of still or even reversed motion. This effect occurs with both propellers and wheels and demonstrates how recording technology can alter the perception of real movement. What you are seeing is a material so light that it can be placed on a flower without damaging it. It is graphene aerogel, one of the lightest materials in the world. It is composed almost entirely of air. It is incredibly strong, withstands extreme temperatures, and is being studied for use in thermal insulation, filters, and space technologies. This is the redback spider, native to Australia. It can trap even small snakes thanks to its powerful venom and the strength of its web. Its bite causes intense pain, although an antivenom has existed since 1956. Its ability to capture large prey makes it one of the most surprising spiders in the world. What you are seeing is the mummified finger of a supposed giant found in Egypt. It measures 15 inches and has generated theories for decades. X-rays and detailed photographs were taken, but it was never officially studied. The owner of the discovery disappeared, and the artifact was never seen again, so its origin remains uncertain. This is one of the most terrifying bridges in the world. It is located in the Tianmen Mountains of China and is completely transparent. It measures 328 feet in length and is suspended at 4,925 feet of height. The reinforced glass can withstand high pressure and large numbers of visitors. It's a famous attraction among tourists seeking extreme experiences. This is the most isolated house in the world. It is located on an archipelago south of Iceland called Eliae, far from any settlement. For years, rumors appeared about its owner, but in reality, it's a shelter used by a hunters association. Its extreme location and solitude made it a viral image worldwide. This video was created using artificial intelligence by a system called NERF, developed by Google. This technology generates three-dimensional models using photographs taken from different angles. It then reconstructs the scene in 3 dimensions without direct human intervention. It is a tool now used in film, video games, and visual recreations. The Doomsday Vault is located in Svalbard, near the North Pole. Inside, it stores more than 1 million seeds intended to preserve agricultural diversity in case of global catastrophes. It was inaugurated in the year 2008. and maintains stable conditions for decades thanks to its natural temperature and security systems. It is designed to withstand earthquakes, floods, and explosions. In 1999, Disney recalled more than 3 million copies of the VHS of The Rescuers. The reason was a single frame where a woman without clothes could be seen for a fraction of a second. The image was almost imperceptible, but it was enough for a massive recall to be ordered. It is believed to have been a prank added by someone on the editing team. The few copies that were not recalled became extremely expensive collector's items. The cast of the show Pawn Stars does not work daily in the real store. The store operates normally under the management of regular employees. When filming takes place, the business is closed. The cast comes in, and the buyers who will appear on screen are already selected. Even prices are often agreed upon beforehand to avoid issues during recording. This is the most densely populated island in the world. It is called Santa Cruz del Islote and is located off the coast of Colombia. In an area only 328 feet by 328 feet, around 500 people live. There are no cars or large buildings, and the community is organized like one big family. Despite the limited space, the inhabitants maintain traditions and a very close community life.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.